Random update time. So I've been working a lot. I've been trying to eat good food. I've been kind of stranded at the apartment. My bike, as you know, was stolen off of the bus bike rack while I was taking the bus back home from work. And I got off, and the bus driver was just like, I don't know. I didn't notice somebody taking it. So he just zoned out. Someone took my bike. And now I don't have it anymore. So to the person who took my bike, that kind of sucked. I really need that bike, and I feel bad that you're desperate and you probably really needed the money, and I guess I forgive you, but it did really suck, so whatever. Yes, but I talked about it on homesteading, and people were really, really, really nice, and that made me happy. And then not only that, some people were like, let's start a fund and we can help get you a new bike, and that was just unnecessary. It was a beautiful sentiment, and thank you, but something that's so completely unrelated to the page, just, it felt too weird, so I had to shut that down. But then this guy, Glenn, did go to the farm fund page, and he did donate $100, so thank you, Glenn. And that money's not going to be used for a bike, of course. All the money that's in the farm fund sits there until I get land, no matter what, not used for anything else ever. So it does help, though, because I was going to have to dip into my personal savings to get this bike, and that was going to come out of my farm fund. So does that make sense? Anyway, I have just been at home fiddling on my ukulele, playing some online chess, and yes, it's been pretty good. Here, I shall play. I'm not musically inclined at all. This is difficult for me. I take like an hour just to try to get this thing in tuned. I bought it because I want to be good at stuff, but this is just something I have no aptitude for music. But yeah, see if you can recognize this song. Yes. You don't recognize it. That's okay. It's Taylor Swift. We are never getting back together. I've been trying to celebrate and embrace my singledom, and yeah, listening to music like that, girl power stuff. Yeah, I mean, this has been a really rough few months. My rabbit died. My boyfriend and I broke up. I drove 700 miles to visit that farm, and then the deal fell through. It was just a bad property. That was a big letdown. And my best friend's mom died a few weeks ago, and it's been really difficult knowing how to handle that in the right way, because it's just such a profound thing for him to be going through at such a young age. And he moved back home to be with family, and I feel like I lost like a really close friend in proximity only, but it's just hard to see him going through this. And I know he'll be back at some point, and I just hope that, I don't know how it could ever get better. Like, that's just one of the most difficult things you could ever go through. So it's just stuff like that. And then, all of a sudden my bike is gone, so my faith in humanity is kind of a little bit shaken. But yes, things will be okay. And, it serves me right for thinking about getting a camera. That very day, I posted on Facebook about how I was thinking about getting a DSLR so I could stop recording on this stinky iSight that doesn't even record the audio half the time I make a video. And I know the quality is terrible. I really would like a nice camera. I haven't gotten myself a camera since 2009, and I feel like I deserve it, or at least I really want it. And yeah, that very day I said, I know I'm probably tempting fate the minute that I start thinking about this camera. I'm going to have some giant medical bill or something. And yeah, lo and behold, hours later, my bike gets taken. So there you go. Predictable. I guess it's just not meant to be. But universe, I really want the camera. I want to make a documentary. Of course, I'm still looking for the farm. Let me get that out of the way. This woman said the other day, I haven't heard you talk about the farm in a while, so does that mean that it's not on your radar? Of course, I'm still getting the farm. I look for land every single day. I just haven't found anything lately. of interest. So that's why you haven't heard about it. I have nothing to say. I don't want to talk about how disappointing and monotonous it is to look through property after property that I just have no potential of working. So at some point I will find it, and hopefully the process will snowball and it'll happen really quickly. You know, one minute you don't even know about something, the next few days you're looking at it, talking with people, checking out the history, the capabilities, and all of a sudden you're purchasing and then, you know, thinking about actually moving. So it could happen very quickly when it does. What else? Yeah, the whole plan with the farm, just a beautiful animal sanctuary, permaculture, rescue farm with all organic produce and fruit trees. I want to have an awesome orchard. I want to grow mushrooms. Still thinking about all this stuff. Still thinking about implementing keyhole gardens and vertical aquaponics and, you know, just old school farming wisdom meets innovative renewable energy and amazing technology and efficiency, sustainability, environmental friendliness, such as gray water collection and substituting all of those chemical products for things that you can do yourself, like soap nuts or, oh, I remember when I was a kid, we used to dig up those soap root, and they've got these long, thin, grass-like blades, and they're kind of wavy and rippled, I remember. You dig them out, and then you can run those underwater, and they kind of foam up. So stuff like that, and Dr. Bronner's, and making your own, and just using vinegar for cleaning products, and making your own vinegar even, collecting yeast from the air, making breads, enjoying raw foods, singing, hanging out. It's going to be beautiful. Of course the farm is still going. Of course it is, lady from homesteading. It's just mostly up here at this point. And in here. Oh God, the debates are on. I can't bring myself to watch. Just both candidates are so ridiculous. I mean, obviously Obama is better than Romney because Romney hates women and poor people and brown people and, you know, working class people. And God, I don't know how anybody likes him. He's just like a heartless, greedy sociopath. And I understand why people like Obama. He's a charming, you know, centrist. They're trying to say that he, you know, is, what is the word? He compromises with the Republicans, and he's trying to, you know, bridge the gap and be a little more nonpartisan. But really, he's just conceding on almost everything. I don't believe that his heart and character are super good for this, you know, ugh. We've got the Keystone Pipeline. We've got GMO officials appointed directly from Monsanto. We've got the commitment to explore all energy sources, but not a commitment to solar or wind specifically. No, mostly coal and oil and overseas and Alaskan drilling and you've got NDAA, you've got the Patriot Act, Guantanamo expansion, you've got the suppression of Occupy, freedom of speech. Just thanks, Obama. Okay, he did come out and say he supports Planned Parenthood and gay marriage, but that's not enough. Sorry. And then the healthcare thing. I don't even know what to say. Anyone who doesn't try to stop the wars is pretty much not in my book. And then you've got like the Ron Pauls and the Garys and the Rockies, and I just miss Kucinich. I really do. Oh, but we're never going to have a third party candidate because that's not the way this corrupt system works, right? If you aren't popular and willing to be easily manipulated, you just don't get a chance to get in office. So, yep. Here's to 4 more years of the same and most likely 300 more years of the same. Oh, gosh. They really are trying to control the population growth with these Monsanto crops. It's the only explanation. People aren't talking about it as much as they really should be. All the studies for how sterility in lab rats and huge tumors everywhere, it's kind of overwhelming and crazy. I think that playing devil's advocate or environmental advocate, rather. Maybe population control wouldn't be that terrible a thing. I know I probably sound like Hitler, but I'm not saying anyone who's currently alive should, have less of a great life. But if there was like a mass enableness to have more kids, wouldn't that almost be a good thing? Like we're taking over this planet and it is suffering and spiraling out of control, and we're causing extreme droughts, and then the polar opposite end we have, tsunamis and huge earthquakes, and the earth is just unhappy. Soon we're going to have even more diseases. When there are these many people at capacity living in such close proximity, exhausting resources left and right, and just not taking care of the planet, it's bound to rebel even more than it has been. So maybe it would be better if we just, I don't know, accepted these crops and took it upon ourselves to not have kids and just kind of experienced this, albeit enforced, voluntary human extinction movement. I don't want us to be extinct necessarily, but I want us to shape up. We are so apathetic as a race. We are just exploitative and not very caring for one another and other creatures, and it's pretty sad and pathetic and disheartening. Makes me mad, actually. I think we need to be nicer to each other, nicer to the planet, and nicer to the animals. So, yes, we wouldn't even need this. Here's the thing about GMOs. We wouldn't need them if we were not eating meat and dairy products, because if the world went vegan, all the crops that are meant and all the water and everything, all the antibiotics and all the space and all the trees and all the, everything that's needed to mass produce this disgusting meat that's poisoning us and causing fatness and erectile dysfunction and diabetes and cancer, all of that stuff that's going towards meat, could be reversed. We could feed the grain to people instead. We wouldn't have to grow crops for livestock. We could feed it to people all over the world. So there are just so many things I would like to implement. Free bicycles for people, free condoms, free social services, free libraries instead of closing them down, no more pink slips for teachers, no more shitty veteran healthcare stuff. Like Mitt Romney preaches about we need to do this and that, and he and Paul Ryan continuously vote down benefits for veterans. So they're sending people off to war and they're advocating, Vietnam War, and meanwhile themselves, he requested 4 deferment so that he wouldn't have to go. Like, it's one thing to be wrong and really, really pro-military and enlist yourself and see the horror firsthand and take it upon yourself to do what you believe in. It's another thing to picket the people who are protesting the Vietnam War and then not go yourself. Like, he just has no backbone. He doesn't stand up for anything. He wants other people to do the things that he believes in, and it's just white man complex imperialist bullshit, and I'm over it. So I'm gonna go enjoy my night, play some chess and some tunes. I'm really bad. If anyone's good at this and they want to teach me over Skype for 10 minutes. Oh god. Okay, yes, I will talk to you guys later, and I love you, and I'm sorry that this is the rambliest video, but there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, every day is up, down, up, down. Today was an up day. That's just life. Tomorrow may be a down day. Can't really predict it. Can't really make it consistent. You just gotta accept it. Reach out for help if you need it. Talk to people, and if you're going through something shitty, I'm sorry. I think it'll get better though, okay? I hope that everything is as good as possible, and I send you lots of love via the YouTubes. Okay, goodbye.